Welcome back, guys. So today is 19th of January, and let's start our daily market analysis. So without further discussing, let's first understand what's actually happening in markets. So from last couple of days, right? It's been 4 5 days. We are discussing that 25,500 is acting as a kind of a support. So today actually market tested it. Bank Nifty was also kind of down, but again it recovered as it was moving forward. We're talking about the 60,100 range. Until unless market breaks this, Bank Nifty breaks this 60,100, then we can say that Bank Nifty might actually go up. But if you're able to see this again, the hammer appearing at the bottom of the channel, until unless we see some sort of the daily time frame closing above, let's say 25,800, then we can say that the structure might actually go up, but it is taking some sort of support. So if you look at the support and resistance that we actually drawn on 25,517 and 25,551 on the basis of a 3-month candle. So 3-month candle, like, how do we draw support resistance? We actually mark the open, high, low, close, if you actually remember till now. And then if you'll try to understand and do intraday trading on the basis of this, you'll actually see that today the market was in the same sort of range where we actually drawn up support and resistance. So 25,517 was acting as a support, and 25,551 was acting as a resistance. The moment it gave a bullish closing above 25,500, then we can see that the chart actually moved up. But overall there is a lot of negativity that we can see around the chart. Even though the structure till now we cannot give a verdict until unless it actually closes below 25,476, that the chart might actually head down. The scenario looks little bit consolidating and bullish in Bank Nifty, but bearish in Nifty. So that's again confusing. So we'll just update that in our sheet. Today is 19th of January. Nifty supporting at 25,500. Overall, still cannot give a verdict that about bearish side. Bank Nifty looks strong, might head upwards if it actually breaks the 60,100 level. 60,100. Let's try to look at what is happening into OI. So again we'll open Sensibull. So the expiry is as of tomorrow. So 25,600 is acting as a big resistance. You can see a lot of call writing at 25,600, and there's some sort of good support forming at 25,500. Again, the market will be heading towards it. We will be into this particular range as of tomorrow. That's what the data looks like. So I is telling the same sort of scenario, that 25,600 acting as a resistance and 25,500 is acting as support. PCR is again neutral, 0.7. Let's try to look at what is happening into the option data. As of 19th of January, what we could see is there's a lot of call writing that happened by FIIs, but a lot of put writing also. But net they made some sort of position into the call writing side, so bearish. What is happening into pro side is pro actually did write a lot of call options, so they made bearish position. They did write 35,000 contracts of put options. that's bullish. So net again they made positions on the negative side, bearish. Client on the other hand, they made client bought a lot of call options, that 82,000 call options, but it bought 53,000 put options. So overall, client made bullish positions and FI and Pro made bearish position. There's a good possibility that tomorrow's expiry might actually close somewhere around the same sort of zone, and we have to look for what will happen to the next week. So if we actually look at the weekly data, weekly time frame, again bearish candle, a big bearish candle, then there's an indecision candle, but it gives some sort of confirmation. So this week's close, if it will be around 25,500, it will give a confirmation of this bearish scenario, that maybe in the next couple of weeks that Nifty might actually head down. Why? Because this is an indecision candle, this is a big bearish big bearish candle, big bearish engulfing candle, and then it is giving some sort of confirmation. If the candle would be giving some sort of a positive closing on a weekly time frame, then we could say that maybe Nifty would have been like, it would be indecision candle, that we might not be able to tell that maybe it will go up or maybe it will go down. But this gives us some sort of confirmation, early signs of confirmation, that maybe this wheel will act as a confirmation towards the bearish side of Nifty. So I think I updated. FII and Pro are bearish, client is mega bullish. Most of the time you will see that Pro and FI and Pro are the ones who are actually making the positions in the correct direction, and client as a retail traders will almost 93 or 94% of the time you will see that client is the one who lose money. But again, if we see that the futures position itself, that again they increase the futures position, negligible change in the futures position. But yesterday on 16th of January it was 1.9 lakh contracts, and today it is at 1.93 lakhs contracts. Hardly they made like 30,000 more positions on the future sell side. Data seems negative. FI added 30k future sell. Let's try to look at the cash market. So today, if we look at the daily, today also FII sold 3,200 crores of stock. Overall, like from the month start, we can see that almost FII has sold like 30,000 crore rupees of stock till date. That's again, you can see the trend from the last year. We're seeing the same sort of trend. FII sold 3k worth of stocks. That if I have been selling a lot of Indian stocks, they are not that much bullish on markets. And if the rally, if the thing goes the same, if there's no sort of capital gains tax, that on budget day, if we don't see any sort of reduction into that, maybe we'll see more outflow of funds. I don't understand that how much Indian markets can survive with the help of mutual fund, all the SIPs that are going on. If at all we don't get any sort of boost from FIIs, there's a good chance that the markets will not give the kind of percentage return that we are thinking that will give 12-15% return in the 5-7 year 10 years horizon. So there's a good possibility that we will not be able to make a substantial sort of return, because all the mutual funds SIPs will actually make the markets afloat onto the same levels. There's not a lot of SIPs that we are getting. Some 25,000 crore rupees of monthly SIP that we get, but we need to get the the FII fund in order to actually make the markets go pretty much up, give the kind of substantial return that we actually think that the stocks give, right? Let's look at other markets before we actually see that what's actually happening. So on a daily time frame, S&P is taking some sort of support at 6,924. Again, kind of bullish. Gold all time high, it's 4,672. Like in Indian market would be around at like 1,50,000 almost, right? Silver 3,07,000. USD INR. This is the main reason why our markets are falling. As the USD INR rate is depreciating, our market is giving negative returns to the FIIs. and Nasdaq also looks positive. TLT is going down, EDV is going down, US 10-year bonds going up, 10-year bond yield is also going up at the same time. Interesting. US oil somewhat consolidating. Bitcoin is at 93,000. Overall, again, until unless Nifty breaks this 25,500, but it looks weak. From this point of view, that until unless it gives a closing, that's what we are saying from very long time, right? From last 4-5 days. But the overall structure has become much more weaker in the past couple of days, and there's no positive news that is coming up that will actually make the markets go up. So it'll be very interesting to see what actually unfolds in a couple of days. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.